It's a while ago. I showed my little brother League of Legends for the first time. He was probably, I don't know, 4, 5 years old, and I was sitting at my dad's place. My parents are divorced now, um, and I was playing League of Legends, and this little guy was sitting on my lap, and I just wanted to enter a normal game. I don't even remember if it was normal or against bots, because it was pretty hard playing with this little guy sitting there and trying to control my keyboard and all sorts. But then going into the game, he decided that we were gonna play Fizz, the champion Fizz, and then he found this great skin where it's basically a rabbit, a rabbit skin. And we were having a great game, and we were walking around killing everyone, and every time we got a kill, he was like yay and cheering for me. And now it still happens sometimes. He's like, Mass, when are we gonna play the rabbit again? I want to see you on the rabbit. Or if he watches one of the games I play with my team, he's like, why didn't you play the rabbit? which is
It's
which
a
is pretty cool.
good question, Mass. Why didn't you
Yeah,
play the rabbit? Like,
yeah, it's disappointing. I know, but that's the way it goes, I guess.
does he understand? So I know we're supposed to be talking about toxicity in League of Legends and whatnot. Is it okay that we're like talking about this?
Yeah, it's fine.
So does he understand that you're a pro gamer?
He does. So when I played for Fnatic, uh, I was pretty fortunate in the sense that Fnatic had these, the all teams do these player jerseys and stuff. At Fnatic, there's player jerseys and shorts in like size for a 3, 4 year old or something. And my little brother got one of these, and he was taking his shirt on in, well, I guess it would have been kindergarten back then. And my dad was telling me that he was going around in kindergarten and being like, oh, look, guys, I have a Fnatic shirt on. And hey, do you know that my big brother is Broxah? And, bragging to the people working there and whatnot. And yeah, he's he's a very supportive little brother too, and he does know quite a bit about gaming and whatnot by now. I think I guess I'm both a good and bad example in a sense, because I'm
Hmm.
sure that eventually my dad and his girlfriend are gonna have a bit of a difficult time getting this guy away from the PC, because he's just gonna point at me and be like, "What do you mean my brother is playing video games all day long?"
Yeah.
But yeah, he does know and understand what my job is. And yeah,
What's it like to have a little brother who looks up to you so much?
it's I don't know, I'm trying to find a word to describe it, but I guess if anything, it's just really interesting and exciting. And I guess I feel sometimes that it puts some pressure on me, and as well, in a way, to you know perform and to live up to this little guy's expectations. um but in a sense, when it comes to that, um like my family in general has never really put too much value on, like, they don't care too much about, I mean, they care about how I perform and how my team is doing. But usually the moments where I have felt that, like, my mom, for example, has been the most proud of me was when I had like a really good interview where I acted really professional or nice, rather than
Hmm.
when I was at my absolute peak as a player. Because usually when I perform as a player and when the team is doing really well, they're happy because I'm happy.
Yeah.
And when we're not doing so well, you know, they don't really appreciate it because I'm kind of sad and frustrated. But usually they've been the most proud in some of those moments with things happening out of the game. And for my little brother, I don't know. It's probably a bit of a mix of everything, because he doesn't really see everything in the same light. I mean, he's probably the
Sure.
most excited to know that I'm a pro gamer, right?
Yeah. It sounds to me like your parents don't. You know, your parents value you outside of your performance in your job,
Yes, exactly.
right? So it actually sounds quite different. I don't know if you've heard the term tiger parents.
No, not really.
So it's like parents who want their children to be really really successful and almost like use
Oh,
their children like trophies. So I grew up in the Indian community where 3 out of the 5 Indian kids in my school became doctors.
Okay.
And usually the first words out of my mom's mouth when she's talking about someone that I haven't heard of in 10 or 15 years is whether they're a doctor or not.
Okay.
And so, you know, some cultures and some parents will want their children to be, my mom is not a tiger parent by any means, but you know, they really want their children to be like successful. And
Yeah.
like if their children go to prestigious universities or have prestigious jobs or make lots of money, that makes them like really, really happy, and they like value their kids for being successful. Sounds like your parents really were not like that, or aren't like that.
No, like I could I could quit being a pro gamer, and I could go back to my studies, and I could become whatever it may be. And obviously there's some, they're proud of me for what I've accomplished, and they're proud of me for, you know, being a pro gamer, and in a sense, but they wouldn't care if I was working at a supermarket or whatever it may be, or working at McDonald's.
Yeah.
Like, as long as that's what made me happy, they would be happy too, right?
And the other thing that I wanted to just point out is I'm noticing a remarkable similarity between what your cousins did for you and what you're doing for your brother.
Yeah, I guess you could say that in a way.
How
Um,
does it? Do you like? I'm noticing it on the surface. Have you? Is that thought ever crossed your mind that? Because it kind of seems like you're shepherding your brother in the way that your cousins like kind of shepherded you.
I think for me it's gonna be maybe somewhat, perhaps a middle ground between the two. Um, Partly because usually, like I don't get to see my family that much, because I'm traveling and I'm away for most of the year. Uh, like this year, for example, I was away for 8 months, and oftentimes when I'm home and I'm on holiday, I don't feel like playing as much. Oftentimes I want to get away from the PC because I sit in front of it playing League of Legends all day for so much of the year. So I don't think my brother feels like he plays as
Mm.
many games with me as he wants to, because he wants to play 24/7, right? And I want to play a bit, but I want to do other things too. So I'm the type of big brother who does play games with him, but who also tries to get him to, go play football or
Wow,
get away for a bit.
I think he's very lucky to have you, Broxah. It sounds like
I
you're.
I hope so.
Yeah, it sounds like you're teaching him a lot about balance in gaming, right? That you can have fun, but you should also prioritize other things. This is coming from someone who plays games for a living. So I hope he hears that message loud and clear.